Okay, so I want to make a video on the tower card in Tarot because I've been pulling that card a lot and it's a very negative card, but I kind of want to build on to the perspective of it. So let's take a look at the card. So I'm gonna start with this is the Rider-Waite version, right? So yeah, we got a very negative card here. So we have a tower being struck by lightning. Two people are falling out. This is a black backdrop with clouds, so it's kind of like, yeah, black is probably the most negative card in color in tarot, especially Rider-Waite. However, this guy has a chance of the peers surviving, and this guy is gonna fall over. He doesn't seem like he's gonna make it, but so yeah, that's not even the original version. So I'm gonna go into the original version now. So this is the Marseille Tarot. This came out, I think, 100 or so more years before Rider-Waite, which is like very popular. I see a lot of people using this. But yeah, here, this is a much brighter version of it. However, the context of the cards is a bit different. See, both of these people have kind of fallen to the ground. These people are falling, they have fallen. And you see like different colors. I mean, you have a green ground, but you still see the destruction of the tower, And then here we got Aleister Crowley Thoth. I don't even know what's going on here, but yeah, this is just like a lot of red, so it's like it's just destruction, But these are like different interpretations, So like, I would say this one is probably. I haven't pulled this one. I'm pretty new to the Thoth. I mean, I have more experience with Rider-Waite. So yeah, every time I pull this, bad things have happened to me. And I remember like I pulled this card, I got into a car accident, and I lost my car. That was like it was like the tower, I couldn't drive. But from that, good things actually did happen. Because I started walking, and I was working for DoorDash, and had to find a new job after that. I couldn't work for DoorDash. But yeah, look at here. So we got more green. So, green deals with growth. So, after, like, destruction, you have room to grow. And that's what I've noticed, even after pulling this version of it. It's like, dang, this one is powerful. This is just straight up red and black. I don't know if I ever want to pull this one. But this one is more neutral. But, however, so let's take a look deeper into the tower. So, the number is 16. Which is a 7 in numerology, so this is a very high like level. So like the tower is like almost like it's a dimensional kind of like construct. It's like it's a 7, but this is also a negative version of a 7 because it's a positive number, or it's an even number. So even is feminine, negative, and 7 is masculine, positive, odd number, right? But it's 16, so this is a negative version of 7, and so it's like 7 is kind of like the angel demon number, so this is a more like a demonic almost, it's destruction, it's a ego death, end of an era. This comes right after the devil too, so like I think the most important cards to take with the tower are the 3 cards that come before the tower, because you have death, and then after death you have temperance, or in this version it's they have it as art, and then you have the devil, and then you have the tower. So the devil and the tower kind of go hand in hand, and it's also kind of is a part of what happened after the hero dies, right? After death, transformation, they go into kind of like a different dimension. They go through temperance, the angelic side of the afterlife, and they meet the devil, the darkest part of like within yourself. You're your shadow. The devil is like your shadow, the shadow. Then you have the tower. This is very fearful. It's almost but it's like this is also death too. It's another part of death. It's like death is 13, which is 4, and then the tower is 16, which is 7, and then 1, 4, 7 are all connected, as are 2, 5, 8, and 3, 6, 9. So there is definite link. And then after the tower, you know, you start to get the star, you get the moon, and you get the sun. So I would say death through the tower all connected. And so yeah, 16, you know, like 7, 8, and 9, these are the highest dimensions in numerology, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, because we only have 1 through 9 in numerology. So, you know, 7, 8, and 9 is like a tower, and then like in the future, it's like the tower, what comes up must go down, right? So it's like, you know, I don't think most towers are going to stand the test of time for eternity. You know, the pyramids would be an exception, but that's a pyramid. It's a more stable structure than a tower. So, you know, we go to these higher dimensions, but the higher we go, the harder we fall, you know? So it's like we have the possibility to descend. This is descension, you know, 16. After you get like 9, 10, and then this, like, you know, that's a descent, you know, like you go from the 9th dimension to the 1st dimension, which is the 10th dimension, and then, you know, it's kind of like that, right? But, honestly, what I've really realized is, so the tower represents Mars, right? And this is, you know, so like, this kind of goes with like Aries and Scorpio energy, but it's like, so what we're dealing with is really what it comes down to, it's malefic energy, male, malefic, Mars energy. And so, like, me being a man myself, you know, all men, we all have our own towers. And every time we construct our tower, we only really construct it for it to be destroyed. And this is like, when I'm talking about destruction as for every man having their own tower, you know, I'm talking about a physical part, you know, it's a physical location on within the male, you know. So it's like we all men, all guys, we all have towers, and we all have our own tower. And so what's going on here? We have like rain, and then what comes out of the tower is people. People come out of our towers, men's towers. You know, so this is a very male card. This is like a more negative connotation. This came first, okay? So take a look at this. This came first. It's snowing here. It is raining. You can either look at this as it's like the signal has been. It's almost like a turnoff almost. It's also like ejaculation. So that's like really what I'm trying to say about being too explicit and inappropriate on YouTube, because everything come back to haunt you, I guess. It could get like videos deleted and taken down. But yeah, so literally, honestly, you shouldn't worry too much. I mean, it depends on what like deck you're using. See, like these, like, you know, Thoth and like Rider-Waite, the artists have kind of manipulated the cards. You know, I mean, honestly, but it's like, who's to say that this is the only way to do the card? I mean, we all have our own interpretations, but this is much more negative than this one, you know? This is like Shiva, straight up Shiva energy, you know, Mars. This is like masculine, malefic, destruction, you know, because like feminine would be like bearing life, you know, the Empress is, they have like the fruits, I think, in the card, like, and then like Shiva is like, you know, it's like, it's a destruction, but it's also, you shouldn't look at it as being too destructive, because there is, you know, as there is a green kind of, you know, like platform for the first tower, you know, it's like good does kind of come out of the tower, you know, so it's like you can look at the tower as destructive, but you can also see that there is potential for growth and creation out of the tower. So, you know, but we all have kind of been like, you know, kind of programmed to think of like the tower is very bad, you know. I don't know what's going on here. Like, I've never pulled this version yet, but this one, yeah, you know, this is a bad card. You don't want to pull this card, but this one, you know, I mean, it's all the same, but it's like, how are we looking at it? See, this is why we need different like perspectives to kind of like look at these cards and what they can be and what they should be, you know, because like, you know, the way the art kind of manifests when you pull these cards, it does influence, you know, so it's like, you gotta be very careful when you do pick a deck. But I mean, just look at the purity of this, you know? It's like, this is a malefic card. And malefic, I mean, like masculine. It's a tower. It's a, it's a tower. People came out of a tower. And look at all this like in the background. This is like, it's just an eruption. But it's almost like in reverse too. So it's like this is happening on different dimensions, because like, the fact that, like we, are able to construct towers, it's like almost like full realization of our potential as human beings. And, it's like going up the Maslow's, I didn't take psych, so it's like what, Maslow's ranked hierarchy of needs, right? To get to self-actualization. And then you have like a tower, and this is almost like, it's almost like you didn't make it to self-actualization, but it's also part of the process of self-actualization, because sometimes we do have to like get rid of certain foundations for us to really grow. Sometimes our roots can like hold us back, and we need something to get out of. It's like, maybe we shouldn't look at, what I'm really trying to say is we shouldn't really look at the tower card, so negatively. We should just really look at it as masculine energy. It's Mars, it's malefic, but there is, it's like yin is in yang and yang is in yin. So there's like, you gotta like, you can dwell on like the negativity, but you can also like choose to kind of like look for like something positive that comes out of negativity, rather than just kind of like soak in the negativity. But yeah, it's like, we're talking about the tower. I might have some more videos on cards, but I just felt like this was pertinent. Just, I've been pulling the tower card myself. This is like third time it's ever been. Second time I've drawn it for myself, and third time somebody did draw the tower for me, and it kind of like made sense for my for the reading, But that was also a different version of the tower. But yeah, ego death. It's like, it's like as a man, you are aroused. It's like you feel powerful, but that power it wasn't made to be like everlasting. So like that power is literally made to manifest and then dissipate and like peter out. Like the tower is petering out, and it's like Shiva energy. That's like what I'm saying. But I don't expect any of you guys to really keep watching. But hey, maybe you guys have been watching to the end, and that's awesome. But yeah, stay tuned for part 3 of 369 Tarot if you follow me.